Hi everyone, I'm Chanel Newnham, and this week we read chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chapter 4 was about audience, adaptation, and credibility. What stood out to me the most was that technology won't always work the way you want it to or how it's supposed to. Anything could go wrong. For example, your computer could die in the middle of your speech, or maybe your power cord doesn't work and won't charge your computer anymore. You should always have a plan B. You should always have a backup plan. That way you ensure that you still get a good grade if you're in a class like this one, or you don't lose the interest of your audience. Maybe if you're on a live webcam or something, you could always have a backup computer or a backup power source. Those are just a couple of examples. I also learned that the physical setting is very important when giving a speech. Also, making sure that the audience is comfortable is very, very important, because the audience will only listen and pay attention if they're comfortable. For example, if someone in the audience is too hot, they may get sleepy and they may be more focused on how they're feeling rather than your speech and what you're talking about. Chapter 5 was about preparing and organizing your speech. What stood out the most to me was that the topic is the most important part of the speech. When choosing a topic, you should always ask why, what, and what's the point. I also learned that the conclusion and introduction give the most important information. Both of them have the attention grabber in them, which I did not know. I had no idea that the conclusion included an attention grabber, but now I know that. I can use that for the rest of my speeches in this class, so that's very important to get a good grade. Chapter 6 was about outlining your speeches. What stood out to me was that you have to always source your speeches or cite your speeches. I did not know that. I thought that was only for papers. You always want to make sure that you cite, the sources that you use for your speeches, so you give the author credibility. In chapter 7, we talked about supporting your speech. What stood out to me the most was that Wikipedia was meant to be edited. I didn't know that. I thought someone posted it and that was it. So it's not always very credible. You want to make sure you're using a credible source when you're giving your speeches to make sure the information is correct. You don't want to give your audience incorrect information or, things that clash together. You don't want to do that. I also learned that in the library, there's a card catalog that lists anything that the library owns. It could be articles, journals, books, really anything. I did not know that, so that's great to know. I can use that for all of my classes throughout my college career, including this one on our upcoming speeches. So that is what I learned in chapters 4 through 7. Thank you.